For the 100% cheapest coins on the internet with reliable delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor MMOEXP by clicking the link at the top of the description and use code SWIFT at checkout for 5% off. Socials of Emily, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 21 video on the channel, and in today's video we're going to be going over what you guys need to be spending your coins on in the Zero Chill promo. At the start we'll talk about some concepts and some rules you should be following when it comes to coin spending within the promo, and then at the end of the video I've got some specific players I'd recommend you pick up and add to your team from this promo. Now I want to quickly thank you guys so very much for the support on the channel recently. At this rate we're going to be at 100k subscribers in absolutely no time, and you guys just bring so much happiness into my day with all the likes, all the support on my videos, the comments, the DMs. It's just awesome, and I can't thank you guys enough. You guys have really changed my life, and it's just been an awesome ride so far. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get into the 3 tips that I want to talk about, and then we'll get into some of the specific players that I think you should pick up. And starting it off with tip number 1, I would recommend you guys kind of stockpile your coins starting now until Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, all of the presents are going to be opening, and when those presents open, there is going to be a crazy amount of supply in the market. Now, little did my mother know when she sent me to university, I'd be learning concepts that I could apply to Madden and economics class. So supply and demand, a very simple thing. As there's increased supply within the market, the price will start to go down. People undercut each other, and undercut each other. And when all these presents open up, there's going to be a whole bunch of supply from whatever is inside of them. The large presents, the extra large presents will be giving packs, they'll be giving players, and that huge influx of cards into the market is going to drive everything down. So we want to save our coins so we can take advantage when that happens and make huge upgrades to the squad, whether there's like the 50 player packs or team of the week player packs or specific players that get added into the game. Anything that comes out of these presents is going to get driven down drastically. You can only imagine how many people have these on their accounts right now. Tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of these gifts are going to be opened up, which means there's going to be hundreds of thousands of cards getting posted up on the auction house, and that's just going to drive down the price so very much of these players. So save up till Christmas, unless you want to use one of the next 2 tips that I'm going to talk about, because the next 2 tips we're going to talk about are kind of ways you can make upgrades without really spending a lot within this promo. Now, tip number 2 is to utilize the set screen within the Zero Chill section of the promo to get some cards for cheap, or cheaper than they would usually be. Now, that can either be the NAT players you get back in return from the set, or the master card. Now, for example, I did this Calvin Ridley set yesterday, and I was able to complete it for almost the same price as the 94 overall Ridley costs. I was able to sell off his power up, I quick sold the cards I got back in return, and by converting the snow that I got from quick selling those players into coins, I was kind of able to get this Calvin Ridley card for cheaper. So look into these sets. If there's a player you want that's a master card, it's sometimes cheaper to do the sets, and if you want one of the players that goes into the sets, so really any of the cards that goes into any of these sets, it is going to be much cheaper to do the set, sell off the player, quick sell the other 2 players, convert that snow into coins, and it's going to be incredibly cheap to get some of these cards that get put into the set. So if you are looking to do that, that is definitely a very good alternative to get these cards for cheap, and just something I'd recommend you guys do. Obviously it's going to require a pretty big coin stack to get started with this, but that's why I always preach and recommend that you guys make sure you stockpile your coins before a promo like this so you can take advantage of methods like that. But that was the second tip that I wanted to go over. Just look into these sets if you're looking to get any of these players. Now, the final thing to talk about is taking advantage of ways to get cheap cards. As you can see in the Zero Chill section of the store, there are 2 opportunities to get cheap players here. That is the Snow Beast Fantasy Pack, which you can upgrade your cards with food to get all the way up to a 93 overall, or the Hot Cocoa collectibles to get players like Jonnu Smith, James Bradbury, or Kenny Galladay. I've made videos on those in the past, so if you want to check those out, I'll leave them linked in the description. But if you're looking to add these cards, this is a very good value opportunity because you can get really good players for cheap. Okay, so now that you guys kind of know the principles and what I'd recommend you do when it comes to coin spending, let's get into some of the players that I think you should pick up, and you guys can apply some of the concepts that we used earlier to get these cards for cheap, or to get these cards at a good price. Now, starting with player number 1, we have Calvin Ridley. This Calvin Ridley card is, dare I say, as good as Tyreek Hill. He has insane stats. As you guys will see right here, he's selling for a price of about 300k, so he is pretty expensive, but to be honest, he is worth every penny. I did just pick him up, I powered him him up. I was able to get him to a 97 overall. He's got 97 speed on my team, 96 excel to go along with almost 99 deep route running. The card is awesome. His speed is insane. He's as fast as Tyreek Hill. You really can't ask for much more. This card is crazy good. Tyreek is a lot more expensive, so if you're looking to get someone that's basically as good as him, if not a little bit better maybe, this card is who you guys want to go with. Now next up is good old Herbie, Justin Herbert right here. As you guys can see, you can actually get this card up to a 92 overall, and when you get him up to a 92 overall, he is going to be sitting at 96 throw power to go along with 89 speed. Those are incredible stats for a quarterback. He's got the strong arm archetype. Those are really the only two things you need to see. Good speed as well as incredible throw power. If you're looking for a new quarterback, this is one of the best QBs in the game. He's as good as Dante Culpepper, as good as Brett Favre, as good as Josh Allen. So literally, if you need a quarterback, this is who you want to go with. I made a video yesterday showing you guys how to get this card up to a 92, and I'll leave that linked in the description. I'm personally almost done with the house rules, and I'll have a gameplay on this card soon so you guys can see how he plays, but definitely a really overpowered card, especially considering the fact that he is absolutely free. Now next up is Kenyan Drake, and you can get this card for cheaper by actually doing the set and getting this card back as a nat, but 93 overall Kenyan actually has some pretty solid stats. As you can see, he's got 93 speed, 91 acceleration. Those are pretty solid speed stats for a running back. You're not going to get any running backs that are crazy fast that have come out into this game yet, so he's comparable with some of the top end cards. He's also going to have pretty solid catching, which I think is important. A 73 catching is pretty good. The carrying is solid. Change of direction is pretty nice. He's got some pretty solid juke and spin move as well. As you can see, 93 juke, 91 spin is really nice. Obviously, he's not a power back. The trucking and stiff arming are really low, but he's going to be good at catching with pretty good speed and pretty good elusiveness, so I think he's actually a pretty good running back and definitely pretty underrated. You could probably get this card for around 20,000 coins if you do the set and sell off the master, quick sell the other two players, convert that snow back into coins. You'd probably end up spending about 20k all in on this card, which is really, really good for a running back of his caliber. Now, I was going to include Isaiah Simmons into this, but he's going for 800,000 coins. Now, I've heard the card is crazy from everything I've seen. I wish I could play with him on my team. He's got 95 speed, 94 acceleration. This card is faster than Tyreek Hill. Think about that. Faster than Tyreek Hill with 95 zone, 95 hit power, 6'4". This card is an absolute cyborg. If you can pick him up, if you have the coins, he's honestly worth it. From everything I've seen on Twitter, from everything I've seen on YouTube, he is worth every penny. I know a lot of you guys probably don't have this many coins, or you're not really willing to spend that many coins on a player. I don't think I'm personally going to be spending 800k on the card. I maybe should consider it. It would be an awesome upgrade to make to the team, but I just don't know that I can justify paying that much for a strong safety, especially when the guy that I've got right now is going to be not that much slower than him, although this card is really crazy from everything I've seen. Wow. Now, at the end of the video here, let's go over the 3 Snowbeast players that I think you guys gotta be picking up. The 3 cards you gotta be getting are Jason Kelsey, Eddie Jackson, and Marshawn Lattimore. There are no excuses as to why you guys shouldn't be picking up these cards. These are all really cheap players you can get from buying the 80 overall version of the card in the store, adding 4 food collectibles to them, and getting them up to a 93 overall. As you can see, these cards are some of the best players on my team. I was able to get each of them for around 30,000 coins. Incredibly cheap. Obviously, powering up the cards is expensive, and it's not necessary at all. Eddie Jackson's got great stats. He's going to be sitting at 99 zone on my team, so that's awesome. Just look at the stats across the board. They're super sick. We've talked about these players in the past. I'm not going to spend that long on them. All 3 cards, very, very good options. And finally, in terms of the chilled players, I think Jonnu Smith, James Bradbury, as well as Devin White are going to be really, really good cards you should be adding to your team. To get these cards, you simply need to buy the 70 or 75 overall version of the player. You added a Hot Cocoa collectible, and that's going to allow them to get up to a 92 overall. Again, I'll have a video linked in the description giving you guys a bit more of an in-depth guide on that, but definitely worth it to get those 3 players that I mentioned if you need upgrades at those positions. James Bradbury, really, really high speed corner. He's actually a really underrated card. And same with Devin White. He's going to be one of the fastest linebackers in the game. Jonnu Smith, one of the fastest tight ends in the game. There's honestly really, really good value players in this promo, and really all the players you can get from exchanging Hot Cocoa or exchanging Snowbeast food collectibles are going to be players that are really worth it. We went over a couple of other cards you should be getting, as well as some general coin spending tips in this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, hit that sub button, and until next time, fellas, I'm out. Peace.